All right, it is 5:30 in the evening. I'm going to call our meeting of the African County Board of Commissioners to order. I ask if you would silence any of the electronic device that you may have, and everyone that has a microphone in front of them, please adjust it now. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. We have a pretty good crowd. Glad to see. I'd like to ask Darrell Edwards if you would give us the invitation. And after that, I'll lead us on the pledge.
Shall we pray? Father, again, we're just so thankful to be able to be here tonight. We thank you for your blessings on Athlon County, Lord, all the favor that you've shown us over the years. Pray that you would continue to show us favor. Pray that all that we do here tonight, Lord, and any time we meet together would be in accordance with your will. We pray that all things would be done that are pleasing in your sight. Give us wisdom and knowledge, Lord, as we make the decisions for the citizens of Athlon County. Pray that we ask these things in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We've everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda. Are we all in one in approval of our agenda as it is? We agree?
Need a motion? So moved.
A second?
Second.
Darrell? All in favor? I have 5 unanimous. Approval of minutes of the meeting January 10th, 2023. Everybody good with the minutes from that meeting?
Mr. Chairman, this says January the 6th. Here our meeting was actually held January 10th. Other than that, the January 10th meeting I found to be in order. There's one I think we need to, in my opinion, clarify under the January 10th meeting. It was a January 10th meeting, I'm sorry. The new business SPLOST, the way it reads, it looks like that it was passed by a vote of 2. Actually, it was a 4-1 on that particular one, and it just doesn't flow very well whenever you're actually reading it. And I would propose to have the wording changed to motion given by Commissioner Edwards was good. Commissioner Harris seconded it. Commissioner Sellers opposed, and voting for would be Wilkerson, Leggett, Harris, and Edwards.
And that is on the first meeting?
That's on January 10. That is correct, under new business SPLOST 2024.
Okay.
It just would clarify. It doesn't look doesn't flow very well.
Yes, sir. Is everyone all right with the clarification? All right, do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Mr. Theodore, do I have a second?
Everything up to Randy.
I believe Charlie went first on that. All in favor? Unanimous. January 24th, call the board meeting.
Make a motion we adopt those minutes.
You good with that one? Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Randy, all in favor? Unanimous. Next item on the agenda, resolution in honor and memory of Honorable Judge Diane Holman. All the commissioners had a chance to look over the resolution to honor Judge Diane Holman. Do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Edwards?
I'll second.
Mr. Charlie, second. All in favor? At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Terry Turner to come forward and read that resolution to us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm honored indeed to have been asked to read and publish this resolution. This coming June, I will have been practicing in Appleton County for 43 years. Ms. Hallman was the judge when I started practicing and continue to do so up until just shy of a year ago. I can attest that the contents of this resolution speaks truthfully and recognizes what she has done and meant to me and to this community.
Mr. Terry, pull the mic just a tad closer to you.
Okay. And it reads, Appleton County, Georgia, a resolution to honor the life and memory of the Honorable Judge Diane Hallman and for other purposes. Whereas the Appleton County community and the probate courts of this entire state of Georgia mourn the loss of one of its most distinguished citizens and public servants with the passing of Judge Diane Hallman on January 25, 2023 at the age of 79. And whereas she was born in Eustis, Florida on December 22, 1943 to the late Christine Pickering Reed and Harry Reed. And whereas upon moving to Georgia with her family, she subsequently graduated from Appleton County High School in 1961 and began her family with deep roots in Appleton County. And whereas Judge Diane Hallman was first elected as Appleton County Probate Court Judge in 1976 and would then go on to serve in this position for more than 44 years, becoming the longest-serving elected official in Appleton County's 205-year history. And whereas through her hard work and sincere passion to serve others, she made a significant impact in the lives of many in this community and throughout our fair state as the probate court judge. And whereas she gave a tremendous service to her constituents and gained a reputation as a fair and helpful servant and an inspiration to many. And whereas through her high ideals, morals, and deep concern for her community, she served faithfully for more than 4 decades as Appleton County Probate Court Judge. And whereas the devotion, patience, and understanding she demonstrated as our Judge of Probate Court were admired by the Appleton County community and throughout the state of Georgia. And whereas during her career she was a mentor to many newly elected and appointed probate judges across the state, offering valuable insight and advice for these new officials. And whereas Judge Hallman had the stellar reputation that she was always there regarding her position. This Board of Commissioners confirms she was always ready to help whoever came through the doors of her office and that she leaves behind a tremendous legacy. Whereas she is preceded in death by her niece, who was more like her sister, Barbara Ann O'Quinn White, her sisters, Jackie Smith Austin and Hazel Smith O'Quinn, her brothers, Orville C. Reed and Johnny Smith, her granddaughter, Charity Crosby, and her great-granddaughter, Addie Hayes. And whereas she is survived by her 3 children, Holly Hallman, Paula Hallman Heron, and Shelby Hallman, 10 grandchildren, Lacey Holden Baxley, Rachel Bell Pierce, Samuel Dean Yeomans, Christopher Hallman, David Hallman, Hannah Yeomans Dukes, Jacob Bell, Anna Lee Rentz, Jesse Kersey, and Madeline C. Hallman, 11 great-grandchildren, and 1 niece, Frida White Gruber. And whereas Judge Hallman was a person of magnanimous strengths and unimpeachable reputation for integrity, intelligence, fairness, and kindness, and by the example she made of her life and service to the probate court, she made this county a better place in which to live. Now therefore be it resolved by the Appleton County Commissioners that the members of this commission join together in honoring the life and memory of Judge Diane Hallman, and the deepest and most sincere regret is expressed to her at her passing. Be it further resolved that the Appleton County Clerk is authorized and directed to transmit an appropriate copy of this resolution to the family of Judge Diane Hallman. It's dated this 7th day of February 2023 and signed by Leslie Birch, Chairman, Darrell Edwards, Commissioner, Charlie Leggett, Commissioner, Doug Harris, Commissioner, Randy Sellers, Commissioner, Theodore Wilkerson, Commissioner, and attested by the County Clerk, Robin Evans. I can only add that this public service dedicated her life to both her family and this community, and we are definitely at a loss and will miss her tremendously. And I would only close by saying, rest in peace, my friend, and thy truthful and faithful servant. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had a request for photos with family members. If you could do that for us with the commissioners and Mr. Terry. And a new probate court. Would that be all right? Now, what they didn't ask me was who had the camera.
We can't see the folks in the back. We need our, okay, right there. All right, y'all, see if you can get it right on the sides here instead. I can't see, it'll work better if we put everybody behind the desk. Put the family in the middle behind the flower. There we go. All right, Mr. Terry, we'll look this way. I think we got everybody on.
Next on our agenda, presentation from Harrison Company on our audit review. Thanks, sir. You would check that mic for me.
Oh.
Pull it up. We've got to get a taller stand.
Yeah, get it up there where you at.
Yeah. Bring it up to the sky. Can y'all hear me okay? All right, I'm Cale Harris with Harrison Company. Thank you for having me. In front of you all should have a 9/30 of 21 audit, as well as the management letter that goes with it. The management letter is the little packet, the audit's the nice and thick packet. So, apologies for the delay on the 21 audit, but we can't do anything until the component units are issued, and those were issued to us late, so we got it turned around as quickly as we could. I was telling somebody earlier that your 22 audit is prepped and ready. We're again waiting on the component units. So as soon as we get those, it'll be submitted to the state, and we'll be hopefully doing 22 in a month or so. So that'll be a blessing. But you also have a cheat sheet in front of you too. So I printed like a 1.5-page document that shows you page numbers of numbers I'm going to go over real quick for the county. So you can kind of reference that as well as you go through this. So the government-wide, which this is your total government as a whole, that includes your roads, all the infrastructure, buildings, etc. Total net position as of September 30, 21 was $84 million. This was up $6.3 million over the previous year, so that's a good thing. Unrestricted net position was $6.2 million. The previous year was 3, so it's up 3.1, which was also really good, almost 3.2 change. Total governmental revenues was 30.5 million, and it was 28.2 the previous year. So that's on page 8 and 9 of your audit report. Governmental assets, this is your capital assets. They were 73 million in the 21 year, and as of the 20 year, they were 70.9 million. So that's up 2.1. So as we go down to the governmental funds, these are your general fund, 2018 SPLOST, T-SPLOST, ARPA. I'll kind of hit the highlights on those. Cash ended at 9.8 in the general fund. 2018 SPLOST was 2.3. T-SPLOST was 1.7. ARPA was 1.6 is what we ended the 21 year at. Now, fund balance in the general fund ended at 11.8 million, and unassigned fund balance was 11.5. So it's very strong. And all these figures are up from the previous 2020 figures, which are on the right-hand column that you see is on that paper as well. So you will not see comparatives in the audit report. So I pulled those to kind of help you see the change. So you got some non-major funds as well, like your revolving loan and jail fund. You can see those balances at the bottom. Those are very nominal in the great scheme of things of the total audit, though, combined. So the management letter, running through it real fast. This is typically for just internal management. The only thing noted really is segregation of duties. So the segregation of duties, we cite that in every audit that we do because it is theoretically impossible, even for a government your size, to hire the number of staff to effectively make segregation of duties go away altogether. So the county does a really good job about putting in mitigating risks or mitigating factors to help minimize the risk of segregation of duties. Some of those are reviewing bank reconciliations timely, a different person doing that. So the county does all that kind of stuff, and they do a very good job at that in a timely manner. So, but that doesn't get away from having that write-up. Just want you to know that. So it'll be in the management letter for y'all to see. So that's a real quick recap of the audit report. The county's in really good shape. Do y'all have any questions? I think y'all have had it for several months. We just haven't delivered. So, y'all have any questions about the numbers that you got, though?
I just like, you said that net assets were up, revenue is up, fund balance is up. So those are all the things you look for to show that an entity is strong financially.
You're moving in a great direction.
And moving
absolutely.
in a good direction at the same
Your fund
time.
balance is very strong, even compared to revenues, expenditures, annual expenditures. It's almost 50% of what your annual revenue is. That's awesome in a government your size. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. If y'all do have any questions, you are more than welcome to reach out anytime. I'd love to sit down and help y'all understand the numbers better. That's kind of my thing. So, and like I said, hopefully we'll be back with the 22 very soon. So we're geared up and ready to go. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna slip out too. My bride's birthday is tonight, so Mamacita's waiting. Thank y'all.
We understand. Next item under public input, Ms. Deidre Hewitt will be speaking on SPLOST 2024.
Thank you, Chairman. To start with, I'm Deidre Hewitt. I'm speaking on the 2024 SPLOST. I'd like to apologize to Chairman Birch, Mr. Meadows, and Commissioner Sellers. I understand that you're coming on the backside of these issues, so I do apologize. Also, I'd like to thank the mayor for his transparency on his projects. I've had a very in-depth conversation with him. He wanted me to let the public know if you have any questions about his city SPLOST, just call the office and they would be glad to speak with you. March 17 of 2017, we voted on the SPLOST 2018. 543 said yes, 123 said no. The total, 666. Let's talk about 2018 SPLOTS. Our county shop, our road improvement, it was projected at $5.7 million, which accounted for 26% of that SPLOTS budget. We have a pad that's been laid down and in the weather for 6 years. No other construction has been done. What we spend on equipment every year in our annual budget, those equipments for the road department should be under a gold dome. We also voted on an open-air covered arena to include bleachers that was supposed to be added into the Ag Center budget. Where is it? Some things of what we vote on and what we get are two different things. The Aquatic Center. This one has been on the books for 6 years now. Why all the confusion? I do want to commend Mr. Timmy McCourt and the Recreation Department on the fine job that they've done. The ball was dropped in their lap, they picked it up, they ran with it, and now we have a beautiful aquatic center. So thank you, Timmy, and your crew. Okay, let's move on to the 2024 SPLOTS. In early '22, the SPLOT committee was formed. I thank the committee for their time and their effort. It is greatly appreciated by the public. None of the SPLOTS committee meetings were announced to the public. The committee recommendations have not been read in the commissioners' public meetings. No capital improvement plan, CIP, has been made public knowledge, even if there is one. January 20 of 20 to currently, this is reflected by your minutes, the board's minutes. SPLOTS has only been mentioned by those in the public voicing their concerns over the Ernest J. Parker Pool. SPLOTS has not been mentioned by any commissioner in a public meeting. A few questions on the 2024 SPLOTS. Briefly, the fire department. Will they be given a higher priority so they can receive their much-needed equipment? On the 2024 SPLOTS road improvement, $10.7 million. Will Robert Civil Engineering be doing the roads? Will there be a priority list? Will the public have any say-so on their roads? The courthouse. A lot can be said on this, but the only thing that I will say is where it will be located. And if it's located at the city gym, called Love, or the food bank, I will not be the only one that stands at the courthouse square. Tonight I'm asking for a vote for a public information session before the early voting period of February 27th. There are too many questions to be answered on a 2024 SPLOTS in the public. This will allow the commissioners and the department heads to inform the public, which in turn will lead to an informed voter. Thank you, Chairman.
Ms. Deidre, if you would just stay there with us for just a minute. I want to thank you for coming and talking to us and
Yes, sir.
expressing your concerns. In a conversation with County Manager, Mr. Al Meadows, earlier, I believe he's got some information he'd like to share with you.
Yes. Good evening, Ms. Deidre. Mr. Chairman, I propose we have a called meeting in order to discuss and seek public input on the 2024 SPLOS. I recommend the meeting be held at the Appleton County Agricultural Center on Monday, 13 February, from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m.
Thank you very much, Mr. Meadows.
I hope that we're able to answer all your questions as best we can at that time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, do you need a motion for that?
Yes, we do.
I'll make a motion we have that meeting next Monday.
Got a motion, a second?
I'll second.
Doug, all in favor? Meeting next Monday night. Thank you. Old business, none. New business. We are at that time of the year appointment for a new vice chairman to the Board of Commissioners. After much debate with all the commissioners, I believe we've decided we want to get back into a rotation easy to keep up with. Mr. Doug was currently serving as vice chair. He is District 4, and moving up in the number would be District 5, which would be Mr. Charlie Leggett. Do I have a motion to make Mr. Charlie Leggett the next vice chair?
So move.
You made the motion?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And a second?
I'll second.
Doug, all in favor? We are unanimous. Thank you, sir. Next on our agenda, Sheriff's Report, Mr. Mark Melton.
Good afternoon. Thank y'all for allowing me to be here. Just real quick, just a couple things. Just so you know, the sheriff's office is interviewing Thursday for investigative position and deputy position. We got several good applicants, so we're excited about that. We are not at full capacity, but we're very close in the jail and in the on the patrol and in the investigators division. So we're making progress. We're getting more applicants than we've been getting, which is a good thing. So we're excited about that. Depending on how we do our investigator slot, it may open up another deputy position because we are interviewing some folks from within the agency to take those positions as well. February the 14th is Valentine's Day. We'll be doing a community-wide Help a Neighbor luncheon. We do it every year. We usually do it on Martin Luther King Day, but we couldn't get it together this year. So we're doing it Valentine's Day, and we'll be feeding them. I think we got 134 residents from the county that we'll be feeding that day for lunch. A good hot meal, and we'll be delivering it to them at their homes. So we're excited about that. That's about 3 or 4 times the number that we normally do. So we're going to work hard to try to get that done. And then the very next day, the 15th, will be our employee quarterly luncheon. And I would like to invite you and encourage you each to come eat lunch with us at noon. We'll be in the training room at the sheriff's office, and we'd love to have you and your staff there if y'all can come. Any questions for me?
How are you recuperating?
Good. Every day's better.
Good.
Good deal.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Next on the agenda, Recreation Department, Timmy McGuirk, Max Dean pool update.
I'll get to the Max Dean update a little bit later. I'm going to start out with the what's going on in recreation. We did the open house at the Aquatic Center on the 31st. Turned out really well. I know everybody was there, so I showed a lot of people around. I showed a lot of people how that place worked. They probably still don't know how it works, but I showed them. That was a good turnout, and it's taken off. We just need some parking. The hours at the pool, we're doing open swim Monday through Friday from 8 to 11, then doing open swim from 1 to 6, and that's pretty much open to anybody in the public. We're fixing to start signing up for the swim team, and we're expecting probably well over 150 kids to sign up for the swim team. So that's going to be a lot of kids to run through there. We're selling yearly passes now for the pool. It's $120 a year or $2 a day, just however you wish to come visit the Ernest J. Parker Gym and the City Gym. We just finished up literally last night with the 7 through 14-year-olds. Had 20 teams there. Played 66 total games, which that gym's maxed out. I couldn't have. Matter of fact, I made the teams larger than I needed to just because I just didn't have the room to play them. We got the other 6 teams, which is the little ones, the 4, 5, and 6-year-olds down at the City Gym, where we're using small basketball, small goals, and it's very entertaining to watch. If y'all, I know Derek in there.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining to watch.
They're learning.
It is.
They
It
really
is.
are.
We're going to play Wayne County next week over here in a few all-star games, just some warm-up games, and then we're going to start district play February the 17th, the 18th, and the 20th at 2 different locations. So again, we're going to be spread thin again, but we'll manage. We got softball registration coming to an end next week. So on top of all that, add softball and baseball evaluations to get them on team, get them ready to practice, and get all that going with basketball still running concurrent with it, and a 150-member swim team running concurrent with it. So we're wide open. We got adult softball elites coming up. We're going to meet with them Thursday night. I had 11 teams this morning. I got 3 more today, so now we're up to 14 teams. So again, we got 5 fields to play a lot of sports on. It's going to be a challenge. We probably got 6 fields because most likely we're going to move games to the Ernest J. Parker Park, take advantage of that park.
They would agree.
It's going to be one of our options. And then we got T-ball scheduled coming up, and that's going to add a whole lot more kids to it. Luckily, we do have a T-ball facility, which is offset them. I go into the lakes and the rivers and the RV park. Since we took over the lakes, the river landings, and the RV park, we've been updating the areas by cleaning up, working on bathrooms, replacing unsafe picnic tables. Most of that's been at the RV park, replacing all the trash cans at the RV park. And all these facilities are now checked at least 2 times a week. So we started maintaining them, and we're keeping them up. And our goal for these facilities is to make them safer and more user-friendly for the community. So, and we're coming up with some plans for Lake Terra as it's now open. So we're working on in that direction. And just a little recap of everything that my staff has going on right now. We're playing basketball at 2 locations. We got baseball and softball going on 5 fields. We got a swim team of 150 kids in a swimming pool. We got T-ball coming. It's going to take 3 more fields, so that's 8 total fields we'll be running at one time with 2 gyms and 1 pool. 11 softball teams, now 14 teams, try to work into a schedule on 5 fields. And on top of that, now we took over full maintenance of the lakes, the river landings, and an RV park. And taking over the maintenance just of that facility, I've literally lost 2 employees because now they are full-time just to service them 3 things, which were more than 3, 2 lakes, 3 river landings, and an RV park. So I'm literally down 2 employees just because this was put on us that we've never had to do it before, on top of everything I just talked about. And moving forward, this is more of a personal statement. I met with our staff 2 weeks ago, and we talked about the athletics, what we currently had going on, what we got coming up, the direction we go in, the spring stuff to make sure we're all on the same page, and the opening of an aquatic center. We discussed what we felt was working well for us, and we talked about what we think we need to revisit and make better, because we always trying to get better. There's no second that we're going to get better. So I'd like to acknowledge my staff's hard work and their willingness to embrace change, because you have to change. I mean, we're kind of really fighting understaffed, and everybody's kind of doing their own good things, so we're making it work. But as these programs grow, change has to occur, and we're growing. There's no doubt we're growing. I mean, we're going to introduce some soccer stuff next year. I think that's just going to blow up. So we're changing. The Maxine Pool, we've had a structural engineer with Roberts come inspect the infrastructure of the pool. The inspection included the concrete slabs, the walls, the roof, and the pump house. All were found to be structurally sound, but they need some minor repairs and probably a coat of paint. And this is going to take us several days to complete. However, the pool cannot be empty more than 48 hours due to damage because the pressure under that pool. If there's water under that pool, it can literally push that pool out of the dirt. So we have to be careful when we drain that pool, but that's both pools. And after we get that done, we'll have to clean the pool, put water back in the pool, get it going, and then we can check all the pumps and the filtration system and all that good stuff, which I feel is in pretty good shape. But anytime dealing with electricity and motors and pumps, it can definitely tear up overnight. So that's where we at, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Thank your staff for all of this.
Thank you. One quick question.
Go ahead.
Have we reached out to the, I talked the other day about reaching out possibly to the schools and utilizing some of their gyms at different times?
I haven't, but that's definitely going to happen next year. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Tim, I know we got a person hired to do that, but they still, you and her have to work together. With all these growth and rec things going on in so many different areas, how is the concession stand working?
It's going well. It's going well. I just keep her informed with everything we're doing. Like if we've got games, she gets all our game schedules, and like for these All-Stars games, I've done told her about them, so she'll be prepared for them. So it's going well.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Timmy.
Next on the agenda, roads and bridges, Mr. Brooks.
Appreciate it. And of course, this time for the last time, we'll start out with Dunn's Lake. And as Timmy just said, it is now complete. We opened it maybe a couple Wednesdays ago. I had went out there and saw some people launch boats, and everything looks great. Of course, ending this project, I've got to thank all the employees who worked out there. There were a bunch of them, especially pouring that push pad. That took a probably a good 14, 15 people to do that. Got to thank all of them, whether they hauled material in and out of their excavator operator who was out there in the lake getting material out. Anybody who, like I said, who worked on pouring the concrete, the whole 9 yards. And of course, DNR, if it wasn't for their guidance, we probably still wouldn't be finished. We'd be out there scratching our heads, figuring out what to do next. They were the real guiding force on that deal. That project did have a budget of $50,000. We completed it at $13,529, so we shot way up under the budget. And I say we got something out there that's really we should be proud of. It's a nice boat ramp. Like I said, I've talked to the guy personally myself who stocked Dunn's Lake out there, and he said in the next 1 to 2 years that's going to be some really good fishing out there. So, Timmy's got some things planned out there, and I would really urge the public to go out there and give it a try, because I've seen the fish jumping out there myself, and I'm about ready to go myself. So, like I said, it was a fun project. We went way under budget, so it was a success. As far as the road stuff for this January, and actually going into right now as I speak, we got a lot of this stuff going on. We were really busy. You really find out how long 868 miles of road is when you start getting rain regularly. And we've been getting that regularly, and like I said, that's when you find all your issues. And we've been taking the month of January and trying to attack some of those issues. A lot of our, I guess you could say, drainage issues happen in places that you can't see, 75, 100 yards off the road. Beavers go in there, they dam everything up. They can build huge dams. I've seen some taller than I am. They can do a lot of work. We've used this month to try to, go to some of our residents, get temporary easements. We've taken our excavator off the right-of-way, got down in those branches. We've cleared some of those dams. We have moved a lot of water off the roadway. I'll take, in particular, Lightsey Boyette and Bryant Boyette. Bryant Boyette's probably the famous road we talked about last week, where our last month's meeting, we had to go out on Christmas. But we had to end up going out again and again. So we spent 2-3 weekends out there on that road. Finally, I said enough. We we got temporary easement on that one. We went on the outlet side. There's a ton of water on the inlet side. there's barely any flow on the outlet end. We increased that flow by probably triple, quadruple. That also gave us room to install another pipe there. Lotsy Boyette, which is the next door neighbor to Bryant Boyette, same thing. We got easement there, went off the right of way, broke the dam, got the water flowing. I worked out here a long time, and I've never seen that stream of water there that low. You can see the stumps on the trees. I mean, we completely emptied it out there. There's no water really even probably flowing through there anymore. We did lay some pipe there as well. Those were four or five rows of pipe out there. And interesting note on those pipe, they didn't come out of our budget because they were polyethylene pipe that come off the Golden Ray that capsized out there off St. Simon's Island. All that stuff was salvaged, and thanks to Joey Hires, we were able to get some of that pipe. And that polyethylene is a very good pipe. It's thick wall, and it's perfect for creeks, bottoms like that, and we decided to go ahead and start using it. Stuff is heavy, it's hard to transport, it can be hard to deal with, but my guys handle it like champs. They got that stuff in there, and we fixed a lot of issues there. Hadn't spent any more weekends on Bryant Boyette. But we also have that lined up. We got a place on Post Road, we're going to do that. Lake Mare's out by Big Oaks Church. Water's backed up in the ditch there. We're going to go out in there and do it there. We've got the easements lined up there as well. So we're trying our best to move all the water we can. It won't matter if you've got your ditches in good shape and all your pipes open. If the exit point's not open, water's just going to back up. So that's been a big focus this month, is trying to get that water at the exit points to flow away. So my guys have done a really good job of that. We also are doing a lot of ditch work, trying to get some water moved that way. We've got some projects going. Palmetto Circle, we've moved a lot of water. We got Nels Ferry, James Kent and 10 Mile, we did that one yesterday. We got Clay Circle and Oscar Tippins. Russell Road and Beatrice Lane we got lined up for Thursday. We're trying to get as many places as we can get to get some of this water to move. Like I said, that's been our focus for the last month, and probably going to continue right in February. I know we've got rain lined up again for Thursday night and Friday, so we'll just keep taking it as it comes. We do have one motor grader that's down. It's out in the 4th District. It's in Statesboro. Don't know when it'll be fixed. In that case, so we do have another one down there. So if it comes down to it, when the other guys get caught up, we'll ship them down there to help him get caught up if he needs it. That's just according to what kind of rain we get in the future. He's in okay shape right now, but if we get more, who knows what the case may be.
Well, we got most of the dirt roads in District 4, so we need to keep the roads graders going.
Yes, we do. There are a lot of them down there. You don't realize how big this county really is until you come out here and start working, and it can be overwhelming at times. But that's all I have. Any questions?
Brooks, when do you think you'll get Clay Circle?
Clay Circle, we got the pipe today. We're waiting on a locate. We need to do the ditch down to the bottom there where it goes to a cross drain and then goes on out into the branch. But the pipe is laid.
Pipe's laid?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
What status of our ditch digger, is it Landole?
The Great All?
Great All, yeah.
It's running.
Okay.
Anything else?
Mr. Brooks, I got a call, and this may be something that the county manager might even need to get involved in answering this. Every year or two, we drain the Lake Mares on account of the midgets and all so much spraying, and I got a call. Is that something that's even been discussed this year? And I'll tell you the reason why I got the call. There was not no problems. They just said if we were going to lower it, they would like to start making some preparations to do some dock work.
I've heard someone mention it but nobody said, hey, go drain the lake or anything like that, or schedule it or anything like that. So no, nothing's come across me.
Well, I just needed to be able to tell her something that I reckon probably the best thing is probably we don't really know about that for sure until summer months go to get here, do we?
Yes.
Okay.
Brooke, I got a question. What's the status on Old Field Cemetery? What's the right of way?
They were waiting on, I believe, 2 people to sign off on it.
Are y'all working with them?
That is the Ronnie Lewis gentleman out of Pembroke, I believe, who does that work for the county. We don't do that at the road department.
Okay, we'll talk later.
All right. Anything else? Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we need to go in executive session to discuss personnel. I need a motion to close regular session, enter in executive session.
I'll make a motion that we close regular session and go into an executive session
Second.
to discuss personnel.
Second.
Doug, second. All in favor? At this time, I need a motion to close executive session and re-enter regular session.
So moved.
I'll second.
Darrell, second. All in favor? Unanimous. I believe Mr. Al has information on what we discussed, or possible hire.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. We discussed hiring Michael Howard Lynn as the athletic coordinator for a salary of $53,560 for Appleton County.
I'll make a motion that we hire him.
Charlie with the motion, a second.
Second.
Who was that? Mr. Doug with a second. All in favor of this hire? I count 5. Unanimous. This time, county manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the call meeting on 13 February, 6 p.m., citizens with a question concerning the 2024 SPLOST can email their question with your name to the email address on the back of your agenda. Those without a printed agenda can find the email information on our Appleton County Commissioners Facebook page no later than noon tomorrow, Wednesday. We ask that you limit to one question and attend this call meeting. All questions must be received by Thursday, 9 February, 5 p.m. An agenda will be compiled by topic, and an individual from each topic will be asked to present the question. The panel and I look forward to your participation in this event. End of report, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Al. My chairman's comments, I want to thank Miss Yvonne for sitting in. I believe Robin's in class. Thank you, ma'am. I want to thank everybody that came tonight. Appreciate everyone being here. I normally would ask if, does anyone from the board have any statements at this time? Any questions? I believe all our business is taken care of for tonight. Normally I would ask if anyone has a question, but I think most of the questions are going to be on SPLOST, and I hope to see everyone at that meeting Monday. 6
Correct. Correct, sir.
At the Ag Center.
At the Agricultural Center on Highway 15.
That meeting is published in the local, or is that just being put out tonight?
I hope to get it out every kind of way we possibly can.
So it didn't make the matter, but it's whatever we can do on the side of it.
Yes, sir.
It will be published as a call meeting. We'll reach all media that we can in the short time we have, sir. The early voting for the SPLOST is coming up rapidly, and we need to have a conversation.
It'll be a call meeting, is it?
Yes, sir.
It'll be a call meeting.